affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Injason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Precious Amayo as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insights and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Voted as the best TV station of the year. TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen. Following all nationwide big and impactful stories. Without the news from every perspective. Covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch.
Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folaring. Election is tomorrow, so we're fully in the thick of it. In fact, there's technically the TVC 2023 elections studio is, strictly speaking, quite open, and you'll be finding out as we go along that there's going to be, a sort of a marathon broadcast. You know how we do. As long as it takes, you'll be seeing a whole relay chain of anchors, reporters, guests, analysts, and that kind of a thing. In fact, one of them, I have one of them here. I was able to get, tear one of them away. Wale Ogunade, a legal practitioner and human rights activist, is president of Voters Awareness Initiative. It's a long-standing NGO. We're delighted to have you, Wale. Good morning to you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what do we now say? So far, so good.
And anybody will not try to buga.
No. Well, actually, when you look at the way preparations are, just talk to me a bit about preparations. I know it's all over the country, but in Lagos, southwest of the country, where we're broadcasting from, there have been pictures circulating of a show of, security force. A show of security force.
Yes.
Say, let nobody try it. Let nobody try anything untoward. Well, that's on the security side. And that's really, the nucleus of what we want to talk about, rampant insecurity and credible 2023 elections. What's your take on that? Do you trust the authorities and their efforts, their preparations, that they've done enough to see us through this election?
Yeah. Buhari came in through a peaceful election.
That's right.
After suffering in the hands of Obasanjo messed him up, but a Jonathan, a pure civilian, died that, the blood of a Nigerian or his continuance in office is not worth the blood of a Nigerian. To that essence, he encouraged and ensured a peaceful transition. And Buhari was a benefactor. And I watched him 3 days ago or 2 days ago when he was at the Peace Accord meeting. He gave his word and, of course, immediately held a meeting with the security people. And, of course, I saw them again because I was part of those who had a briefing. We observers that had briefing with the INEC and with the security people. When I was in school, there's a group called the Panwandrikas Club, and I belonged to it. And there was somebody who is called a chief. They will say, Chief Emahule Lokoko, and so on. And they will say, no, Keke must care. When he says that there is authority, the man has nothing. He's just a chief, but of course, it was fun. Here too, the military and all the security agents have told any troublemaker, no Keke must care. Yes. You see, in Yoruba Palace, they will say the parents should tell their children that they should put their hands of trouble in their pockets.
Yes.
So we don't want anybody. If you have no business voting, stay in your house. Don't go out carrying a pin. If they have security gadgets, that's the security people. They have gadgets that will identify anything that is apart from your voter's card. The only instrument that will be with you tomorrow is your voter's card. Indeed. And maybe your phone. Indeed. Which again you have to drop before you go into the...
That's right. Because we've heard of devices that were, were cooked up before, where they tell you that. In fact, I've even seen some funny, postings online. Say, at least you will go in there with your phone. So photograph what you have voted.
You are not
you're not doing that.
It's not possible. It's not going to be allowed.
It's uncanny. As the authorities, as INEC continues to work around the clock to do what it... And INEC is not alone. There are many other people as well who are just working for the success of this election. And to now think of the extent to which some of us, unfortunately, will go, is it to frustrate it or to just mess things up a bit? But in any case, what the authorities seem to be saying is that we're match for it. If whatever anybody wants to come up with, we advise don't do it. So there's that sense in which even they got to the level of the elections will be postponed. They won't tell. No, INEC said, forget all that kind of nonsense. The election will hold. So this is, from what you have seen, you concur that there's nothing much. I'm happy you even went back to when Buhari was his own election. That he came in a peaceful election. Yeah, there might be tension. Tension doesn't mean violence. Apprehension, anxiety, all of that, it goes with an election, and we can expect all of that. But by and large, TVC will be on it right through, as you know. But we expect, all other things being equal, for there to be a straightforward election. Now, what are the things we should be looking out for? INEC, for instance, has told us already that, look, in the instance of you can't find your what is that name? Your PVC. It doesn't mean you can still find out where your polling station is. Yes. You like all those arrangements?
Obviously. It helps the system, it encourages people, and of course, it wants to harvest as many voters as possible. And don't forget, we are in the era of technology. If you lie, the system will not lie.
So things are a lot different from earlier elections, from previous elections.
In 1999 now, when one piece of paper is a piece of paper that the electoral man will sign, bam, then he will sign. And of course, from that in 2009, in 2003, people were busy snatching ballot boxes because once they have stopped it, they will take it from one point to the other. We have passed all those stages now. This one now is technology-driven with the introduction of beavers. You have you're already captured in the system. You go there, you present, I'm Wale Ogunade, whereas I'm Yoli Folari. Yes. I say, I'm Wale Ogunade. No problem. They will just bring out the thing. Put your finger, it will match. Because God passed everybody.
So that really...
that fingerprint is unique to you alone. So if anybody wants to use your own name, it can match the fingerprint.
So it shows that INEC, through the ages, has improved leaps and bounds.
And I'll use this
different
opportunity.
Administrations of INEC right up until...
I'll use this opportunity to really appreciate the international partners. And really, they have no choice anyway, because a crisis-ridden Nigeria cannot accommodate anywhere in the world. Not West Africa, not Africa, not even Europe. They cannot accommodate us. So it's better we have peace in Nigeria.
Exactly. I think it was, we know it ourselves, but I think it was the U.S. consulate who was saying, they have spoken. I think the UK has also spoken, looking out for its nationals here. But if anything were to happen in Nigeria, it would have... it would have impact, on the
spiral, or the political language, bandwagon.
Who can accommodate us? I mean, we are the most populous. So which country is it that is going to? So that is why we thank God that we have people who are working on it. But you see, when we come to insecurity, there's so many aspects to it. On the other level, there's the upfront insecurity of fear for life and limb. You know, the aspect of insecurity. That other aspect of insecurity where you were talking about manipulating the system, you know, that's one. I want us to also go to the, you know, terrorists, you know, anarchists and that kind of thing. But before then, Rukia has called in from the UK. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. It's Aisha, not Rukia.
I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. Aisha. Good morning.
Good morning. This is my first time of calling in.
Oh, we're delighted to have you. We don't do that, but I did a silent one.
I was looking at your hand, so I copied you.
Welcome, Aisha. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to bring to your notice and to the notice of my fellow learned colleagues there, if this information that I just saw this morning is true. Because my sister, she posted on her status that there is a website you can go to. If you don't have your PVC, you can go on that website, put in your details. It will generate a kind of form for you, like a printer.
But what you was talking about, in fact, Wale is just checking that out now. Because yes, it is factual, but okay, Wale has. But
yes, it's true. It's true. You said it earlier on.
Yes,
it's true. I just want to get the names. www.inecvs or something.
So that's
is booting.
So that's what Aishat was talking about. That a sister had said that this, and she wanted to sort of verify that information, and we can say that indeed that is the case. In fact, that this has come up as a question. We will have all those details, you know, because we were told those details by INEC themselves. And if you were to go on the INEC website, I'm sure you'd find a link there somewhere. But you know, even as we're speaking, we'll probably voice the URL of that particular website. But it, again, do I have someone else? Ada in Jos.
Hello.
Good morning, Ada.
Good morning. Can you hear me, Mr. Yori?
Very clearly. We can hear you well.
Okay, because it's what I hear. Good morning to your guests. They're calling from Jos Plateau State. Anyway, tomorrow is the D-Day now.
Yes.
The political class should not see election as a do or die affair. They should imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship. INEC should be an unbiased umpire to reduce the number of litigations that may arise. It should also ensure its staff don't get involved in any shoddy actions that could compromise the efficacy of viewers. The judiciary on its part should be fair in its judgment. They should realize that justice has no color, justice is life. We cannot develop as a nation without the rule of law. Then the security agency should be non-partisan. Above all, the electorate, including myself, we should conduct ourselves well. We should shun money politics for immediate gratification. We should not allow politicians to use us as thugs, especially the youth. I'm optimistic that votes will count this time around. Refusing to vote is not a protest, it's a surrender. I heard some people say that they won't go to vote because they are hungry. If the hunger that did not kill you today, is it tomorrow that it will kill you? Go out there and vote. Like, remember when Igine was there, I asked him for any other alternative listing when I told him that my website did not open for that particular listing. I tried it again and it opened, but it didn't give me the reply up till now.
Okay.
So now another INEC official gave us a number. I don't know if you are aware of the number. So I tried this number and it works now. That is 09062830860. Then the second number is the same, but it ends with 1. That is it is 09062830861. You now SMS, that is text your state, your surname, and the last 6 digits of your voter identification number. That is your V.
That's right.
So that's the number I gave you now. Once you text it to it, it will just reply immediately and give you a polling unit. I text it, and I'm so happy I did. If not, I would have had problems tomorrow because they are now splitting it. You know, if it's more than about more than 770 or so, they will put you in another polling unit. But it might be in the same place, like in my it's an estate. If I didn't check, if I didn't do what I did now, what I'm telling you now, I would have gone to the where I went to before, and I would be there maybe 2-3 hours, and then I will now discover it's not my unit. So people should endeavor to do that, those that have not done it.
Thank you.
Let's go out and vote. It shall be well with us. Okay,
Thank you very much for calling in, Ada, and so helpful. As I said, we have spoken about this before. My bad. Perhaps we should have had that URL link ready. But as we speak now, producers hopefully are actually clattering away at their keyboards and to bring it out. But in the meantime, Ada has come to the rescue. She's provided a number that says works because she has used it when it appeared that some aspect of the INEC website wasn't functioning the way it should be. All websites do that from time to time. You switch them off, restart, and they're back to order. But she gave us the she gave us the number 0906. You got that? That's the first four. 0906 283, and then 0860 as well as 0861. Those two websites, those two phone numbers. She said they're sort of automated. You call them in and you get a sort of a directional link. Mazi Okorafo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Yori. Compliments of the day.
Indeed. Okay. Well, so this is a big deal. Here we are greeting ourselves in an ordinary weekend. Compliments of the day. It's because it's a special weekend. It is a special one.
Letting period. We are in the letting period. So compliments of the letting period.
Indeed.
I'm not calling our youth. Boy, girl, man or woman, anybody you may call yourself. Do not allow anybody to use you as a weapon of mass destruction. Because if you check now, you see that other international organizations, human beings from other, you show the whole world are in Nigeria. It is not good for us to show something that is abstract in this election. Go out and vote. And I've just gone on the IGP and the Commissioner of Police. Let all the DPOs, all the areas you are covering, please make your phone number available. Just paste it there. It doesn't cost much. Take a marker and write that. Keep it, paste it there. So we are not expecting anything, but instead of keeping it, people can have access to your own number. I mean the DPOs and area matters to help us. And parents, please do not allow your children to be a weapon of mass destruction. Because told the students we see they are coming from a home. Because if you check out the stats have shown that there's no problem anywhere without being sponsored. All these insecurity they do, to me, all these are sponsored programs, sponsored by human beings who don't want their opponent within the environment to drink water. So do not allow yourself. All those actors, please be careful because international organizations, international people, everybody in the whole world are watching Nigeria because we say we are giant of Africa. Yes, we are giant of Africa. So we have to show an example. We have seen other African countries that have conducted the election. We didn't see any mayhem or anything else. We just and after when the results have been announced, please, youth, do not run into the road and carry it because if you die, nobody's going to pay your parents' compensation. You will not sit down.
All right then.
Because you see, they're going to pay problem for themselves. Internet will be jumping one from one place to another, drinking all this to and this. After election to all Nigerians, go out and vote. Vote for the candidates of their choice. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafo, for calling in. And that tip there about the phone numbers of the security chiefs, all the police people, the right people. Indeed, that list actually exists. And as I said, in the TVC, election special, 2023 election special, all of this will be shared, in the course of the programming. It's going to be an end-to-end, round-the-clock kind of a programming. So that detail will come up. The producers are supposed to be working on that particular URL link that Aishat was the first to bring it up. But we'll probably have it. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to Mr. Ogwandi.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yori, the DJ is finally with us tomorrow morning. There is only one thing I wanted to say publicly. INEC has not been forthcoming in terms of voter education in the recent weeks. People are asking questions that how ordinarily they should have known. The fact that they are asking means that INEC has not been pushing out information in the expected volume. But be that as it may, it's what you seek that you find. I want to tell fellow Nigerians that tomorrow is going to make a landmark in their lives. They should not be deceived by anybody. If you take a wrong decision, you will blame yourself for it. That's all I can say. Good morning to Nigeria.
Indeed. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. When he says that's all he can say, that's because he's a very knowledgeable Nigerian and he knows that there's a cutoff point for when you can talk about any partisan matter. Yes. It doesn't matter who your rep of choice is. Yes. We don't go there. Non-partisan from now on, right up until
the election itself.
The election itself, and then afterwards. In case any of you are going to be trying that number, let me just give it to you once again that we got from Ada. It is 0906 283 0861 and then 0862. Those are two numbers that she had said. Maybe Kola Eneosho or Buki Abdul Salam are working on the actual link that you could actually go in there and put your number in. Who is on the line? Somebody else on the line?
Yeah, Deji on the line. Good morning.
Hello, Deji in Yanokpaja. Good morning to you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah. Talking of insecurity. So how are the hello, Deji in Yanokpaja. Good morning to you. Go ahead. Yes, how are the security in charge of different police units? How are they going to minimize the? I don't know how to put it.
Hello, how are security people going to minimize untoward events? That's their job. That's what they will be doing. They will be there so that there is no how does one put it? Illegal behavior. No untoward behavior. They've already told us what you know already. First of all, there's going to be restrictions, of all vehicular, movement, not just vehicular, even sea, waterways and all of that. We've been told this already. All of this is just to make sure that everything goes very much along the way that you, Deji, want it to go. Because it's easier when when the behavior of everybody is of one kind. Nobody who is not an essential person should be on the roads. Then it becomes a lot easier for the security people to be able to police that which the few people that they do get on the roads. So if you're on the roads and you're not supposed to be on the road, you'll be having questions to answer. But if you're on the road, one of the few people, firefighters, journalists, INEC officials, all those people, very few of them, when you look at our whole mass, they can be on the road. So the answer to your question is that the how to, that's their job. Take it for granted that the authorities, the police, the civil defense people, all of these people will be doing their job and they'll be doing the right thing. Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Yakub, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. I don't know, maybe you are hearing me, sir.
I can hear you, but
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't have much to say, as Mr. George rightly said earlier. The day that
but the security is our topic. That conducting a successful election, a credible 2023 election, with what is referred to as the sort of rampant insecurity.
Yes, the truth is here. We all know that no matter what, the election is going to hold. But I believe we don't even have enough personnel. That is the truth. But if Nigerian citizens can conduct themselves very well, if for the fact that some police units may not be able to even have a police, if it can conduct themselves very well, we know who we want to vote for, and then you go there, display, and then cast your vote for your own candidate of your choice. And then if you don't want to leave, you can stay at least maybe 10 meters, 20 meters far away from the cubicle, so that
you are not interfering at all with the process. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So basically, I only pray that tomorrow opportunity is here. And then I pray that we don't miss this opportunity that is now and this time around. Because if we miss it this time around, we're going to save another 8 years. But I believe we are not going to miss it. We are going to do the right thing tomorrow. God willing. Thank you and God bless you.
We'll just take a break and then stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
In the month of February, 4th of February is World Cancer Day. 6th of February is International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation, while 11th of February is dedicated to women and girls in science. On the 12th of February, it's International Day against the use of child soldiers, also known as Red Hand Day. On the 20th, it's World Day of Social Justice. By the 24th, it will be 1 year since the Russia-Ukraine war broke out. Stay tuned to TVC News as we bring you in-depth reports and analysis on these events.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. Unlabeled lens to believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. Unlabeled lens are ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Business lives on the fast track of numbers. Business is a strange world where low numbers mean something different. And its currency are speed and time. Finding the open doors of Main Street is not just good business, it's the start of the business. Join us every weekend on Business Week.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Join me, Precious Amayo, as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour where the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every week, Green Angle, in partnership with Wild Aid, will bring you a documentary series on environmental issues affecting Nigeria's amazing biodiversity, from climate change, air pollution, and wildlife conservation. We will be traveling across Nigeria to give you on-the-ground report of the issues affecting our environment. It airs every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Voted as the best TV station of the year, TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen. Following all nationwide big and impactful stories, without the news from every perspective, covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch.
Okay, welcome back. And the election is tomorrow, the D-Day. It's right upon us. And we're speaking with Wale Ogunade, who is president of the Voters Awareness
The Yoruba will say 20 years will become tomorrow. It's as if this day will not come.
Exactly. So people are looking forward, expectantly towards it. But we are in the midst of, let it be said, insecurity. It's,
yes.
For instance, the proscribed IPOB, for instance, it is saying that it has not told anybody not to, to stay at home, but it is not itself interested in any election.
Yes.
Okay, but at least it has not told anybody. And by the way, you know that one of them, Ekpa, based in Finland, I think he's been admonished by the Finnish authorities to just take it easy, take it easy. Nigeria is not enjoying your joke anymore, So there's all of that. But it's interesting that as it relates to the Southeast, IPOB is saying that we did not call for any stay at home. Whereas it's an interesting call that they've made. So we're not for it, we're not against it, but the important thing is that we, as IPOB, the proscribed organization by the federal government, we don't believe in the election in Nigeria. But what does this say to you about that side of the country in terms of elections?
I saw a video recently online where they went and disturbed INEC's activity. Another one where, in fact, that one was huge.
When you say they,
there is IPOB.
Okay.
IPOB.
Okay,
and the guy was saying it that we represent IPOB. There will not be an election in the Southeast. We have been telling you. You think we are joking? They now gathered those things: the canopy, the chairs, even.
Oh,
you remember? You saw it.
I recall that video. You see, one has to be very careful about these social. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to tell you. You yourself know. One has to be very careful. Sometimes these videos are
generated.
They're old.
Yeah,
they're not even current.
Yes,
yet people will put them
even
out
if
there.
They put them out there.
So people need to be careful.
The body language. If at least I can answer you with the body language of the group IPOB in the Southeast. We all know. And for your information, a Labour Party candidate, a senatorial candidate of a Labour Party was killed maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. And all these shows issues of insecurity. And I know that the military will not rest on its oars in securing the whole.
And it's not just the military alone. The police is in
during the election that brought Peter Obi in 2014 or so, it's an off-season election. I was there. The whole of Enugu, because there was threat that election will not take place. But the security agencies were deployed there, and they did a good job. Indeed, we had an election, and they secured everybody. We were there. In fact, when I was going, my people were shouting, you are going to a war zone. I said, why not? You are going to a danger zone. I said, well, that's what we are. That's the mandate we have taken. We have to be in the trenches, in the war front, to ensure that the election did take place and did well. And of course, we thank God, the election took place. So this one too, and I know that the security agents and agencies will do all they can to secure the people. All I want people to do is that they should come out and vote. If you say you are not voting, you are just doing yourself, because in as much as there is a notice of an election, Boycotting election has never worked anywhere in the world. It has never worked, and I don't think it's going to work this time around with the avalanche of preparation, with the level of involvement and awareness going on.
And INEC, even if all the electorates are starved of cash or funds, INEC is not in that. I saw something where, no, INEC, you're a special case. The central bank will be releasing the cash to you, funds to you.
For logistics. They are given cash for logistics. They are given all the support they needed, including ensuring that the banks, they secure the electoral materials to the extent that, as I'm talking to you now, you've started moving the non-sensitive, sensitive materials itself
We've seen that.
to the various units, to rack the various local government and redistributed to the various registration area centers. So, to all intents and purposes, everything is on ground for the election to hold. Again.
One moment. Let me bring in Ernest. Ernest in Lokoja. Good morning to you. Thank you for calling in, Ernest.
Good morning, sir. Yuri.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
As regards to the election, I think I will commend INEC for the default reduction. I think I was among those who partook on the destroying of that beavers. Very fast and very commendable. And also the issue of the Southeast, people are just instigating fears. I'm from Enugu State, and trust me, I will not see any insecurity in my area where I will vote tomorrow. I'm traveling right to Enugu State to vote, and I don't think all this is just a fear. I know that some people are sponsored to do all these things just to make people not to come out and vote in mass tomorrow. I believe God, we shall come out tomorrow and vote by God's grace, and our leader will be chosen by God's grace.
Indeed.
Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
I appreciate what he just said now.
Yes.
He said he's traveling from Lokoja to Enugu to vote. That's a patriot. That's huge. And I hope people will emulate him. Some people will say, well, the country is locked down, they can't go, they can't vote, all sorts of issues. Your vote must count. INEC says that they have 80 million Nigerians that have registered. I hope that this time around we will have close to 50 million people who will vote. I hope that will encourage people like us who are involved, because ordinarily what you have is that 30, 32, 33, 34. Less than 50 million people have been involved in voting, and that's very, very poor. Less than 50%. And that's very, very poor. And I hope this time around people like Ernest, or people who take the example of Ernest, live wherever you are. Take the struggle. I've done it before. I trekked all the way from Aburu in the Iyanokpaja. It's far, far behind Iyanokpaja, and I went to vote in Ogba then, because 30 years ago when I moved, that was in the June 12 election. And of course, I enjoyed myself. I was working.
But it was important enough. And you see, because and today, more than then, people can be better assured that their votes will count.
Yeah, then the vote was not yes, it was in fact.
You wouldn't know.
Bless you, sir. I hope we will be able to talk about the beavers that will make indeed the vote to count. I hope we'll have time to discuss that. And of course, let me just jump into it now. Maybe later.
Okay, let's talk a bit about beavers, because we have a few minutes. But, when we come into our real, studio broadcast, 2023 election, Nigeria Decides broadcast, then as I said, we have all the time in the world.
Okay.
But you go on.
So beavers is to help people to ensure that the real person who is a voter is a person who presents himself to vote. So beavers remove multiple voting. Then, of course, it streamlines the votes. As happened in Osun, beavers now brought about fraud, or is about to counsels fraud and fraudulent activities. Where am I going? Once you get to the polling unit as a voter, well, it's not your duty to ask for the beavers, let us see where it is, but generally, the party agent will ask, where is the beavers? The polling unit, the polling officer will show him. Of course, it must read 000. If it's not 000, something has happened. It has been tampered with, and that should not be encouraged. So once it is reading 000, the voter will be presented with the beavers. He will bring out his voter's card, or he will mention his name. They will type it on it. It will bring it out. He will thumbprint. He will bring out his thumb. He will put it on the system. Of course, it will bring out his details, including his face. And that's all. You are good to go. You'll be given the ballot paper. And, of course, you go and vote. And, of course, in voting, it will be done in the cubicle. You are not expected to take your phone inside the cubicle.
No, that won't work. Yes, it won't work. Let me bring in Abba. Abba in Kaduna North. Good morning. Can you believe that coincidence?
Yeah.
Just as I was signing in on.
You'll call again.
Abba, please see what you can do towards calling in again.
So,
Abba called in from Kaduna North.
The number of voters must not, the number of voters.
Even if it is, if the variance is 1, it invalidates all the votes in that area.
So people must be very careful. Beavers does not allow manual. Anywhere that they have beavers, that machine, you cannot use manual because it will now make this thing useless. That is 1. 2, if your beaver system is not working in your polling unit, no need to fight. You encourage the polling officer to call the rack center. They will bring another one. INEC is so equipped for this election that no system, no polling unit will not have a beavers system. That's 1. 2, they have worked with the network systems that they have improved on the signal. So the issue of beavers failing does not arise. The issue of the thing not being charging or not, that the battery is low is not there because it has been fully charged. All of them, they've been charging them before they bring them out tomorrow.
Okay. So, Frank in Edo, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Go ahead. You're on the program now. You're live.
Yes, I'm watching the program live. I want to commend the electoral umpire completely for the effort and the input for now.
Okay.
And then I want them to be watchful of that Ahmed, that IT director, the national IT director, that Ahmed. Because I don't trust Ahmed for anything. Ahmed, is a known person to very close to Tinubu. And I want also to watch him closely with the IT control and the implementation.
Well, thank you for calling in. I didn't quite get that, but we have to be very, very careful about what we say on air. As you know, you can't say certain kind of things, especially if you're not backing up with proof. And
apart from that, all those issues now have become stale. They should not come up because we are in the election period. Mentioning names at this period should not, and people should
exactly. No, we can't be partisan. We can't be partisan. Nobody is allowed by law. The regulation is you can't be partisan. But even then, if you were to bring up any other matter that is even not of a political nature, you still can't say certain things without backing it up with facts. And in any case, if you have the facts, I imagine you can only be calling us after you've called the police and presented them, or at least if you don't want to go to the police alone, call your lawyer like Wale Ogunade is your lawyer. Tell him about it. He will know how to process all of this matter. But thank you very much for that gentleman who called in from Edo. We're so sorry we missed Abba. Abba in Kaduna.
That's what you see before you vote. That's a BVS. That's what you see. You can see them being displayed. And the whole thing is to ensure, that's it. The whole thing is to ensure element of reliability, probity, and of course integrity. That's your thumbprint.
Yes.
As soon as you put your thumb on it, it will bring your face, it will bring your detail. That's it.
Indeed. Raphael, I beg your pardon. Raphael in Port Harcourt, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I'm fine. How are you too? How's work?
Very well, thank you. Go ahead now, please.
Okay. I actually want to thank you so much for the good work you've been doing. And
so kind of you.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Yes, we can hear you. I heard you the first time. Thank you.
Okay. So what I'm saying in effect is this. As regards the number you gave her to know your polling unit.
Yes.
In the VIN number, how many numbers are supposed to be inputted for you to get the information?
The last 6.
Okay, the last 6.
The last 6 numbers.
Oh, okay, can be sent as a text message to the number. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so what I want to say again as regards the issue in Southeast is actually a thing of pain that... hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so what I'm saying in the first is, as regards the issue in the Southeast, the pain we have is that our people are being deceived by unnecessary information. You cannot be given information when you are not there being part of what is happening. People have been deceived in terms of coming out to vote because of the fear of insecurity, because of fear of IPO, because of fear of this. If you cannot get it right or create it this time around, Nigeria will go back so far from where we are today. So I want to urge Nigerians, I want to urge the Easterners to come out and vote. If you are afraid, vote and go back to your home. Than staying at home and pointing hand on this, and by the end of the day, we will all suffer it together. That is my contribution. Thank you so much.
I did. Thank you very much for calling in, because we do need to call in. So as I was saying, sorry to just drop this in again. Ada had called in and said, look, in case there's any difficulty, she has actually used this one where she gave us two numbers, 0906 283 0861 and 0862. Either of those, no, I beg your pardon, I think it is 0860 and 0861. So again, 0906 283 0860 and then 0861. Those are the numbers. She has used it, and it's first of all, I apologize that we haven't been able to bring up that portal that you can say, but this will work excellently as well. You send an SMS to either of those numbers. You just want to text your name, state of registration, and then the last 6 digits of your voter's registration number. You just send it in there, and the system will return the information to you. So, as I say, we'll be talking about this a lot more as we go along after this, because effectively, I think the TVC 2023 studio opened at 8 o'clock this morning, technically speaking. So, and that will be rolling right up until, in fact, there's no closing anymore. There's no breaking anymore. It's open from now.
An open house
until
business.
Sunday. Until Sunday, go.
Even it can be more than Sunday.
Well, we hope not, but we're ready. But we hope that all of this matter will be dealt with and dusted by,
by Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
by Sunday afternoon.
Worst case scenario.
By Sunday afternoon. But just as we did in Osun. In Osun, yes. by Sunday afternoon, we are done. But no doubt we can't compare Osun with the whole of Nigeria. But be that as it may, it will be done by Sunday. So
let me squeeze in Ike. Good morning, Ike in Bayelsa.
Hello, good morning, Dave.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, I have a challenge. I'm just considering the security. Hello?
Yes, carry on, please.
Okay, a person who has been, posted to a different environment within the same local government. Now he has to go back to where he registered to cast his vote. Tomorrow, being that movement is restricted, how will the person pass on the road without being harassed by the security agents?
Okay.
Leaving your environment where you registered, you have been posted to another location within the same local government. And you have to go to where you are registered to cast your vote. And there will be security agents along the road. How will they allow you to go and cast your vote?
Okay.
That is what my challenge.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
I can't remember the name of the guy who said he's traveling from Lokoja to Enugu.
Probably going to be doing that traveling today. He's going to be doing
That's
that
where I'm
traveling
going
today.
If you know you are not...
You want to move.
If you want to move, you move this evening.
Yes.
Any movement must be before 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, all borders, all doors are closed in terms of movement. There's no movement. The only thing you can do is to walk. Wherever it is now, it's a walking movement, so no vehicular movement.
Yes, so you just have to,
So if you want to, it's a sacrifice. If you know that, yes, you want to vote, and of course it's important that you vote, then you have to sacrifice. Even if it means that you have to go to a place Either you hang around with a friend there, since you know if you have been registered in a place.
So that's the point, Wale. The point is that, sorry, you can't. The question he was asking is, so how do I now get up tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock and then go and vote where I registered?
It can't.
You can't.
This night.
If it's important enough, and it should be important enough, you've just got to find a way so that you are not, you don't breach, so you don't breach the regulation that is on ground that the people from all indications are going to be enforcing. And they don't have time to be answering these kind of questions. They just are going by. You've seen the guideline. It is what? It is from 7 or 8 o'clock?
7 to 6.
7
to 6.
So that's
or maybe it has been it has been relaxed to 7 to 3. The polling closes 3 o'clock. So after the elections, you are free to move around 3 o'clock.
Indeed, we'll be confirming all those. As I said, right after this program, we're effectively in the 20.
No, this is authoritative. It's 3 o'clock.
Exactly. So that's the answer to your question. You're gonna, because of your patriotism, you're gonna have to get yourself over to there where you can vote within that vicinity. And then vote tomorrow. But you can't walk across or drive across from where you are now to where you registered. We're going to have to leave it there because there's such a lot more that we're going to be talking about as we go along this afternoon and right into the next 2 days. But Wale, thanks as always for coming along, and I'm sure we'll be seeing each other on our special broadcast as well.
To God be the glory.
Thank you very much,
to God be the glory.
Mr. Wale Ogunade, President, Voters Awareness Initiative.
To God be the glory.
That's our program then. Please join us. Well, I was going to say that, but join us on Monday for a fresh edition, because if this whole thing stretches into Monday, okay, you'll understand, we'll accommodate it, we'll mop it up. But happy voting tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
TVC News reporter Ola Wakon wins TV Production of the Year award at the 30th anniversary of the Apex Media Award in Nigeria, the Nigeria Media Merit Award, NMMA 2022.
And the winner is Olaiwola Awakon, TV.